Ilia Malinin just voiced a reality every Olympian knows but rarely speaks. And he did not just whisper it once. He repeated it like a mantra throughout the Milano Games before the crash during the spiral and in the aftermath. This is the real-time anatomy of a breakdown. We watched him shift from confident to shaken to completely shattered. What he exposed changes the lens through which we view these competitors forever. The cracks started showing early back on Saturday, February 8th, during the team event when he bailed on a triple Axel trailing Japan's Yuma Kageyama. His first confession came in the mixed zone right after. "I didn't think it would be that heavy," he admitted to the press. "The Olympic atmosphere is insane. I definitely underestimated it." This is the quad god undefeated since 2023. Admitting he miscalculated the stakes, the red flags were waving right there. By Wednesday, February 11th, prior to the individual short program, he pulled a disappearing act. He ghosted his final practice session. He stated he just wanted to stay in bed rather than face the ice again. He was looking for an escape hatch from the mounting pressure, desperate for a mental timeout. Yet when the lights came on, he rallied. He grabbed a 5-point lead over Kageyama in the short. It looked like a recovery, like the quad god had regained the wheel. He had not. On Friday night, February 13th, moments before the free skate, he narrated his own unraveling as it happened. He revealed that before even striking his opening pose, he was drowning in flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, and crushing weight. He admitted he had absolutely no tools to cope with it. This was not a post-game analysis. This was an athlete trying to compete while his mind was actively fracturing. Then came the skate. He popped the quad axel, the signature weapon only he possesses, downgrading it to a single. He hit the ice twice. Planned quads turned into doubles. He posted a 156.33 in the free, plummeting to 15th in that segment. His total score sat at 264.49. He finished 8th overall. The 5-point cushion evaporated. The gold was gone. Mikhail Shidorov of Kazakhstan seized the win, while Japan locked up silver and bronze. The quad god imploded, but afterward he didn't run. He gave it to us straight. "I blew it," he said instantly. Then he went darker. The nerves were paralyzed. Every traumatic memory from my life came flooding back. My legs felt like concrete. I couldn't draw a breath. I thought I could treat this like any other meet, but I was dead wrong. This is not just a soundbite from a bad night. This is a timeline of psychological disintegration. Week 1, he admits he misjudged the beast. Week 2, he is skipping practice just to survive the wait. Competition night, he is overwhelmed and defenseless. Post-skate, he delivers a brutal autopsy of his own mental collapse. We just witnessed a man document his own psychological crisis on live television while attempting the hardest athletic feats on earth. That is unprecedented. But the meltdown is not the headline here. His radical transparency is the headline. What is this environment actually doing to these human beings? And why does Ilia's honesty hit so hard? Let's break down what those symptoms actually signify. His brain was assaulting him with trauma while he tried to execute high-risk mechanics. That goes beyond butterflies. That is a physiological trauma response. When he says his legs were heavy and his lungs were tight, those are textbook panic attack markers. His physiology was literally shutting down. When he described losing control, he was describing dissociation, the mind ejecting from the body as a survival reflex. Only it didn't save him. It destroyed his performance. This is the true cost of Olympic gravity. It is not just stress. It is not just jitters. It is a full-blown mental emergency unfolding in front of 10,000 spectators with a lifetime of work hinging on 4 minutes. Here is the reality: Ilia isn't the first superstar to hit this wall, but he is one of the few to narrate the collision in real time. Simone Biles in Tokyo 2021 pulled the plug after getting the twisties, a terrifying loss of spatial awareness. She chose her sanity over the podium. She took heat for it, but she shifted the paradigm. Michaela Schifrin at Beijing 2022 was the lock for alpine gold. She disqualified in the slalom. Then she disqualified in the giant slalom. She sat on the mountain totally shattered, admitting she was in uncharted territory and had no answers. Same pressure, same break. Then you have Michael Phelps, 23 golds deep, speaking openly about depression and suicidal ideation. The greatest Olympian in history still fought those demons. The pressure is the fuel. The pattern is undeniable. The reality is stark. Even the globe's finest crumble beneath the crushing weight of the Olympic rings. The tragedy is that most suffer in the shadows. The reason is ingrained in the culture. Grit, iron wills. The warrior code. Victors are taught to never offer excuses or display a single crack in the armor. Corporate backers demand gold medals. Crowds crave total domination. Networks hunt for fairy tales. Consequently, competitors bury the pain until the dam finally bursts. Ilia stands apart as a rare anomaly daring to voice the unspeakable. This raw transparency outweighs the scoreboard eclipsing his 8th place ranking. The world tunes in to witness the impossible. We demand quad axles that defy physics, shattered records, flawless execution under blinding spotlights. Yet Ilia's confession unveils a starker truth. These icons are not gods. They are flesh and blood striving for the supernatural while bearing a burden no mortal should carry. By admitting he was lost and overwhelmed, he granted a license for every other competitor in the village to acknowledge their own vulnerability. Describing the torrent of intrusive trauma, he brought the shadows into the light, validating the silent struggles of thousands. Detailing his physical collapse, he forced mental health to the forefront of the Olympic narrative, demanding it be taken seriously. That candid moment holds more value than any gravity-defying jump. The paradigm is finally turning. Simone Biles ignited the spark in Tokyo, normalizing the conversation. Now Ilia carries that torch into the Winter Games, illuminating a different facet of the struggle. He did not step back. He stepped up and fell before the world. Both paths require immense courage. The chorus of voices is growing louder. Support systems are expanding and empathy is deepening. Yet the road ahead is long blocked by society's obsession with flawless victory. Relegated to 8th place, Ilia refused to retreat into shame. Instead, he marched directly to Mikhail Shidorov, the 21-year-old Kazakh phenomenon who had just captured his nation's historic first gold and offered his hand. "You earned this," he told the victor. No resentment, no justifications, pure class. Standing in the wreckage of his competitive dreams, he turned to the press and stripped away the facade, admitting he was still grappling with the shock. He acknowledged the permanence of the failure, confessing a desperate, futile wish to rewrite history. It was unvarnished truth with no effort to cushion the blow. While he departs with a team medal, the individual crown, the defining legacy he chased, remains out of reach. 8th was never the destination, but at 21, his story is far from over. The Milan Games likely mark a chapter, not the conclusion. The road to 2030 is open, offering a shot at redemption 4 years from now. He has tasted the bitterness of Olympic gravity and will never discount it again. The next campaign will be fought on mental battlegrounds as much as physical ones. The Games do not break icons because they lack strength. They break them because they are beautifully, flawfully human. Ilia chronicled his own unraveling with piercing sincerity. Perhaps that vulnerability will stand as his true monument. That legacy might just outshine the gold. Have you ever faced a burden so heavy your mind fractured and your body simply quit? Drop your experiences in the comments section. Hit subscribe to keep pace with every twist in the Olympic saga.